He's in prison, an adult prison facility outside of Toledo. He's serving more than a life sentence. Means that he'll be at least 70 before he's considered eligible for parole. But his attorney and other people believe that by the time he's spent his entire adult life and most of his life in prison, he really won't be eligible for parole. He was 15 years old. Today he's 21. He just hit his 21st birthday. And his attorneys say that if he'd been 3 months older, he probably would have gotten the death penalty. Well, I still speak with him at least once a week on the phone for the prison allotted time. And I spent weeks out there at different parts over the 5 years I spent writing the book. I would spend about 5 or 6 hours a day interviewing him for 2-week spans. That's a difficult question. I really wanted to look into what was going on with these kids who apparently showed no remorse and seemed to show no emotion after committing these horrendous crimes. But what really hooked me on this case was the Johnsons, the victims of this crime, because I really sincerely believe they deserved better. They deserved an answer to the questions they were looking into, why this child killed. At least they deserved a real attempt to look into what happened here. And I was also angry that Children's Services was trying to cover up what really happened and that nobody was looking at this seriously. There was a reason behind the murders, and I think that to look at them in a straightforward manner is the only chance we have of preventing them, and the Johnsons deserved that. Mr. Johnson died before reform was ever really implemented or even sought, and I think that his quest was something I wanted to continue. The Johnsons were an elderly couple in rural Ohio, and they had foster parented dozens and dozens of children over the years, and Johnnie was about 15 when he was placed in their home. They were better to him than anyone had ever been to him. He liked them so much that he wanted them to adopt them. But one evening in late January, he walked into the kitchen where his foster mother was preparing his favorite dinner for him, and without a word, he bludgeoned her to death and then set her on fire. And it was one of the most horrendous and inexplicable crimes that Ohio has ever faced, because nobody knew why he did it, not even Johnnie. In fact, when he was arrested, he told detectives, "I don't know why I did it, why it happened. She was a nice lady. She didn't deserve this to happen." And he was also appalled that he could watch her bleed to death and not feel anything. He knew something was wrong there. This was his 19th foster placement, and he had been through 19 and 5 years. He had also been through a very poor family environment, but he really wanted the Johnsons to adopt him, and he really wanted to stay there, and he did not know what triggered his rage. He knew he woke up with a churning in his stomach and a feeling that he was going to do something bad, but he had no idea that he was going to commit this crime. They lived in Spencer Township, which is just outside of Toledo. It's a very rural area, a very small population, very little crime, and I think that this was also interesting to me because I wanted to show that these crimes are going on throughout the country, not just in urban areas, but in rural areas and in suburbs, and it crosses all sorts of lines, economic, social, everything. These kinds of crimes are really increasing throughout the country. I live in Maryland, in Silver Spring, Maryland, just outside of D.C. Well, I had been hearing from social workers and teachers about these kids without a conscience, these kicking time bombs, and I was very dubious about it. So social workers presented me with a number of different cases throughout the country that sort of fit the characteristics that they were talking about. And one of those cases was this case, the Johnnie Jordan case. And then I called out to Ohio. I talked to Mr. Johnson. I was very moved by how he felt. I can't say
the whole thing rotating? There. Oh. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's looser. Is that I broke it?
Yeah, Camilla, you got it all. Because it's okay, they're not like wild.
No, I think I got
shut
it.
up. Don't look at me like that. Look at the muscle.
Did I break it?
I think I'm tightening it.
You gotta hold it with your fucking
teeth.
Yeah.
And trying.
No, just grab
I'm
it
gonna
from
put like
the
paper towel around it.